Thank you, Minister Kenny. I affectionately known as Brian as well. Thank you very much for those kind words. Are you sure you have the right person? I am sincerely humbled and honored to receive this distinguished award tonight and to be recognized in this special way. First, allow me to congratulate Angie on receiving her award this evening. I was very inspired to hear about the things you have done and the amazing impact you have on the lives of our young students. I think we could be kindred spirits. I would also like to thank Minister Kenny, of course, from the Department of Education and Early Childhood Education for sponsoring this award in memory of Vince Sunderland. Before continuing, however, I must say that it is very comforting to see the North Shore contingent. There are quite a number of us here, and here, as Guy says, and so I'm also very privileged to call those colleagues my friends. Thank you to the MBTA current and past presidents, as well as the MBTA personnel who've given so much time and dedication to the teachers in our province. I know I can speak for my teaching colleagues when I say how grateful we are to belong to such a strong and committed organization. Thank you to Guy and the selection committee for choosing me to receive this esteemed award. I would also like to thank my husband, Peter, for being here with me this evening. Being married to another educator with his intelligence, his insight and wisdom has been a gift, that's for sure. We've done a lot of shop talking. Also, while not here with me this evening, my sons, Chad and Clay, for putting up with a mom whose job and volunteer life didn't seem to have a stop time. They are terrifically educated young men, and I couldn't be prouder or love them more. To think that I have spent the last 33 years as an educator leaves me astonished at times. For if you were to have asked any one of my family members or my high school peers what career they would have predicted for me, a teacher would certainly not have been a thing they would ever contemplate. You see, they knew something about me that most of the people in this room, and even those that do know me in this room, would not. That I had a stutter that would make even Mel Tillis turn away in discomfort. And truth be told, this speech would be far easier for me to sing tonight than read. What those peers did not know about me, however, was that I had a dream of becoming what most thought impossible, even my own family, a teacher. The late educator Rita Pearson believed that each and every child needs a champion. How immensely grateful I am that I had just that, a champion in my high school guidance teacher. Were it not for he and several other champions to follow, I'd not be standing here tonight celebrating an amazing career that afforded me the opportunity to pay it forward daily. And as I stand here receiving this coveted award for educational leadership, I must very truthfully let you know that I had not given a single thought whatsoever of being a principal or to pursue any leadership role. I was contented in the classroom. I got to combine my passion of music with my career. Who wouldn't love that? Then came one day in April 1997, and it wasn't April Fool's. An unexpected knock on my classroom door. It was Kathy Baldwin and the principal at the time, Paul Willett. Kathy proceeded to ask me if I would consider assuming the role of vice principal for the last 3 months of the year as the current VP was going off on sick leave. I think they got to see my tonsils that day. For to say I was dumbfounded is nowhere near an understatement. Surely they knocked on the wrong door. Yet I knew Kathy Baldwin well, and she was the superintendent of District 15 at that time, herself a truly extraordinary leader. I knew her enough to know that she did not make decisions without great thought. The intuitive leader in her obviously saw something in me that I never caught sight of in myself, that's for sure. I didn't sleep well that night as I considered the requests, but after several conversations with the late Paul Willett, the principal, I agreed to give it a go. To work under Paul's guidance and example was such a gift. When he retired in 1999 and I was awarded the principal's role, I assured myself that Paul would be just a phone call away. Sadly, that was not to be, and in December of the next year, Paul passed away unexpectedly. My learning curve as a leader was a very, very sharp one that first year. Not only was I just mere months into trying to figure out what the principal's role entailed, I now held the daunting role of leading during a major crisis in our community and our school. I cannot honestly say I led anyone during that time. This role appeared far beyond my scope of skills. What I did come to learn, however, very quickly was that I was surrounded by incredible people who actually led me through this crisis. I got to see the amazing strengths and gifts of my staff, of the district personnel, and the MBTA. So I gratefully shared this heavy load and did at the time the only thing I knew how to do best, tend to the needs of the people in my care. During a presentation at our MBTA branch meeting a few weeks ago, Mike Ketchum, is here somewhere? Hi, Mike. Reminded us all that we are in the service profession. How ironic that a week or so before this, at a principal's meeting, we were asked to journal an answer to this question. What 3 words do you stand for? Well, I knew the assignment was to select 3 independent words. For some reason and without hesitation, I felt compelled to write these 3 words: service beyond self. Sounds contrived, I know, but I assure you it's not. Service is a word I understood at a very early age. I grew up in a small community in Newfoundland. I know I don't have an accent, but if you really want me to have an accent, wait till the kitchen party. I can even pop out a Newfie song or 2 if you'd like. I grew up in a small community in Newfoundland where everybody knew each other, and true to our province's culture, if you've been there, you help those around you without question or thought. This way of life was so expertly and tenderly modeled by my father, with a grade 3 education, who showed me day in and day out from sunrise to sunset that the secret to fulfillment was to give to others. My father's hands and his heart were intrinsically connected. He modeled greatness through gracious giving every day of his life, and he never expected anything in return. How thankful I am to have had the opportunity to have chosen a career that embodies this philosophy and honors my father at the same time. The return value of this way of life cannot be measured. I have received far more back than for that which I've given. Receiving this award is undoubtedly one of the greatest highlights of my career, and it affirms for me that a leader is not always the brightest and the best, or most fluent, thankfully. I feel John Hume's quote defines my journey best when he writes, "I never thought in terms of being a leader. I simply thought in terms of helping people." My desire in any facet of my life has always been to serve, and to have had the opportunity to do so for the past 20 years as administrator at Parkwood has been an incredible joy. With retirement just weeks away, I admit that I am almost more nervous about it than this speech. I will dearly miss my career, this is a certainty. Not the reams of emails, or the heaps of paperwork, or the 3 a.m. calls when the alarm is going off in the middle of the night in a snowstorm. But what I will definitely miss the most are the people, the kids, the parents, the grandparents, the dogs. Yes, even the dogs that I feed in the morning on bus duty, and Parkwood's incredible staff. There have been far too many times to recount when visitors to our school have commented that there's a special feeling when entering our building. It is a feeling that we've not been able to identify, but one that I know is directly related to the way everyone cares for and respects one another in our building, no matter their role or position. What a gift to go to work every day surrounded by an extraordinary staff who makes such a difference. A staff that has high expectations, and they really do love data, I know they do. High expectations of themselves and our students. not only for achievement, but for decorum, behavior, and respect. It's easy to be a leader when you're surrounded by individuals like this, don't you think? Parkwood will always be my place to be, and its footprint forever engraved upon my heart. Unfortunately, I did not know Vince Sunderland, but what is clearly evident in everything I have learned about him since hearing about my award is that he was a model of leadership to which we can all aspire. He has clearly left a legacy of leading by example, and I am truly honored to receive this award in his memory. I am hopeful that the leadership legacy I leave behind will mirror the tenets that Vince personified, one grounded in the golden rule and prompting all educators to always, always remember that students come first. So Kathy and Paul, in the words of Shakespeare, I can no other answer make, but thanks and thanks and ever thanks. Thank you for steering my ship into waters unknown, for the treasures I have found in this ocean called being a leader or leadership are ones I will carry for a lifetime. To end, I quote the words of Kevin Hall, the author of the book Aspire. Your gifts are not about you. The leadership is not about you. Your purpose is not about you. Because a life of significance is about serving those who need your gifts, your purpose and your leadership. I think he knew my father and Vince Sunderland. Thank you again for this beautiful award. It is yet another beautiful treasure to add to my collection.